Programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
A very good evening to you on this second day of October 2023. Trust you're doing well. So much lined up for you tonight, but first the headlines. Enact a law allowing everyone freedom to access IEBC servers. Amos Wako tells the bipartisan committee a submission of memorandums continue. All eyes on the UN Security Council to make a decision in the deployment of the Kenya police to Haiti. Kenya to invest more in countries under BRICS in an attempt to save the Kenyan shilling from depreciating. And Kenyatta University launches 2023-2024 Certificate in Leadership Development and Mentorship course with an aim of complementing what the students learn. Samuel Kello is our sign language interpreter tonight. My name is Anne Odide and you're live on our social media platforms, that is on X and YouTube at Kutv Kenya. Remember, today is Money Monday. Later on in the broadcast, we will be having an interview on renewable energy as a business. We begin. Now, the National Dialogue Committee has today proceeded with the bipartisan talks at the Bomas of Kenya, where different stakeholders have continued presenting the exposition of their memorandums before the committee. Former Attorney General Amos Wako was amongst the individuals submitting their memorandums, proposed to the committee of the need for enacting a law that will allow Kenyans get access to the IEBC servers once the election process is complete. Mureki Mwenda with more in this report.
Appearing before the National Dialogue Committee at the Bomas of Kenya, former Attorney General Amos Wako has proposed that 3 political parties commanding political attention in Kenya to at least nominate 1 member in their respective parties to serve as a commissioner in the Independent Electorate Boundaries Commission.
I suggest that the top 2 or 3 political parties should nominate people for appointment, direct appointment to the Electoral Commission. And they should, the top 2 or 3 should nominate 1 commissioner each.
Wako has, however, recommended a law to be enacted to give Kenyans authority for Kenyans to access IEBC servers once the electoral process is complete.
I have therefore recommended and proposing that a law should be enacted to make servers automatically open and accessible to anyone, that as soon as the presidential elections are declared.
On its part, Public Service Commission Chairperson Anthony Mushiri proposed on the review of the tax regime to enable public officers cope with the high cost of living.
The Commission therefore proposes that either the taxation regime be reviewed, a considered wage increase be mooted, or public officers who are servicing mortgages be exempted from additional and similar levies taxes so as to give relief to public officers and boost performance and delivery of services.
The Council of Governors, on their part, have proposed the separation of powers of the National Treasury from the Ministry of Finance for it to be able to serve both national and county government effectively.
The Council of Governors proposes that the National Treasury shall be established as an independent institution separate from the Ministry of Finance in order to effectively serve both levels of government. With this, there shall be two IFMI systems, one designated for the national government and the other for the county governments.
Also submitting his memoranda was Kisumu Senator Tom Ojenda, who proposed to the committee that Senate should be declared the overall parliamentary body of the National Assembly.
So where you have a system where senators are elected, I think create a strong Senate, give senior members like yourself a chance to vie for Senate instead of going back to the National Assembly, and give Senate the requisite authority that it ought to have, so that in representative democracy like this, we have a Senate that then stamps authority.
The bipartisan talks continue as Kenyans hope that the National Dialogue Committee will this time round provide a solution to the problem brought to attention. James Murekimanda, KUTV.
President William Ruto has commended the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, for its dedication in building a resilient and a united region. While holding a meeting with the IGAD Executive Secretary Dr. Wakne Gebeyehu in State House today, Ruto indicated that a coordinated approach involving all stakeholders is the best chance to restore peace and stability, accelerate the return to normalcy, and alleviate the humanitarian crisis inside Sudan, further assuring that Kenya will support the unified forces to resolve conflict in the region at large. Kirinyaga County Governor Anne Waiguru has been elected for a second term to serve as Council of Governors chairperson. Waiguru was elected through general consensus during a full council meeting held in Nairobi today. Wajir Governor Ahmed Abdullahi was also re-elected the COG vice chairperson, while his Nandi counterpart Stephen Sang maintains the whip position for the year October 2023 to October 2024. Waiguru has vowed to ensure that all devolved functions and subsequent resources are fully handed over to the county governments. Waiguru was first elected as chair of the council in September 2022. Moving on, Interior and National Administration Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has announced that today marks the commencement of the second week of the Interior National Administration Ministry's Rapid Results Initiative, RRI, for the issuance of passports. According to Kindiki, a total of 22,353 passports were collected in Nairobi and the regional immigration offices countrywide this week, and it is expected that 15,400 passports are due for collection in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Eldoret, Kisii, and Embu counties. Now, the United Nations Security Council is today expected to vote on a one-year deployment of an international security support mission in Haiti, led by Kenya, which seeks to quell gangs and restore peace and order in the Caribbean country. This comes after President William Ruto and his American counterpart Joe Biden asked the council to make the decision as soon as possible in order to allow the deployment of Kenyan police to Haiti to begin immediately.
My brother, how are you? Very good.
Today, the United Nations Security Council is expected to vote on the approval of deployment of a one-year international security mission in Haiti.
The mission is to be led by Kenya so as to quell the distress in Haiti and restore peace. UN says that the mission is crucial to maintain peace in Haiti, where between January 1st and September 9th, 3,000 homicides occurred and 1,500 people were kidnapped for ransom, and it is estimated that 200,000 people were forced to flee their homes for their safety. While addressing the United Nations General Assembly in the United States of America, President William Ruto and America's President Joe Biden called for hasty approval of the Kenya-led security mission. Kenya intends to send 1,000 police officers to Haiti, and Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua hopes that the troops will be deployed in Haiti by January next year. The Caribbean regional bloc CARICOM, which Haiti is a member state, together with Jamaica and Guyana and other states, has welcomed Kenya's move to help enforce order in Haiti. Kenya's intention to help Haiti has, however, received backlash from human rights organizations, which blame the Kenyan police of using excessive force, and they fear such incidences will be replicated in Haiti. Former Chief Justice Willy Mutunga and former Defense Minister Eugene Wamalwa are among Kenyan leaders who have opposed the mission. Mutunga says the move is unconstitutional as there was no public participation and neither the Senate nor the National Assembly was involved in approving the resolution. America has offered 14.7 billion Kenya shillings to support the mission, but the fate of Kenya's peacekeeping mission in Haiti lies in the UN Security Council. Motweri Eliud, KUTV.
All right, 10 minutes past the top of the hour. We are taking a very fast short break at this point. Of course, we're coming back with an interview on renewable energy as business. Stay with us.
Focus on Health is a show that creates awareness on matters health and informs you on various diseases, their causes, treatment, prevention, coping, and support. So join me, Barry Michelle, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on KUTV. You can also follow us on our social media platforms at KUTV Focus on Health on Facebook and also on YouTube, and Health Focus on Instagram, because your health is your wealth. Stay safe and stay healthy.
What are some of the ways through which you can develop these skills so that we are comfortably fitting into the job?
You have to put yourself in positions where you are uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in the sense that you are not clear about what to do.
Because I used to work a corporate job before. So when I left, I happened to visit someone's farm around this area.
So this project is called Security Breach Detector and Readiness Familiarize. It is meant to be used to detect, detonate explosives.
We'll tackle all the tough issues, discuss all the weird moments, and hopefully share a few laughs along the way.
Kutoka kuwa jamii ya kuhamahama na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok, hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
Kipindi hewani ni mitindo ya kipwani. Kama ilivyo kipindi hiki kinahusu nyimbo za taarab, chakacha, midwara, midundiko, bila kusahau mapishi. Ambao ndio uti wa mgongo wa pwani ya Afrika Mashariki.
Jamani, swahibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Hapa KUTV, nahodha mwendesha chombo cha baharini, yani ua linalonukia na kuvutia waridi tamu.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. You're watching KUTV Primetime News, and it's time for a discussion of the night. Of course, with climate change concerns and the push for sustainability, renewable energy has become a hotbed for innovation and entrepreneurship. Tonight, we are exploring renewable energy as a business in this day and age. Titus Ngeno is joining us in studio for this conversation, and Titus is a renewable energy professional developing solar and wind projects across Kenya. I'll just let him tell us more about that. Karibu sana to studio, Titus.
Thank you very much. I'm Titus Ngeno from Green Millennia Energy.
All right.
I'm a renewable energy developer, and we have several projects across Kenya in solar energy.
Yeah.
We have a 40 megawatt project in Isiolo, and this project is a partnership between Total and Toyota, and it is financed by JICA.
What do you do now in Green Millennia Energy in relation now to supplying this renewable energy to different regions across the country?
So I'm part of the project development team, and I do feasibility studies for this project. So I was part of the people who did the feasibility studies for the 40 megawatt project in Isiolo. And
okay, go on.
And also we have other projects that is in biogas, and we have managed to install more than 20 biogas plants in Nyeri and Muranga for small-scale households. And these biogas plants are around 20 meter cubic, and a small-scale farmer can get these biogas plants at from between 45,000 to 55,000 Kenyan shillings.
Now, how do you assess the feasibility of solar and wind projects in different regions in Kenya? Now, considering factors like resource availability and maybe grid connectivity as well.
So, for the Isiolo project, we did feasibility studies, and from the Kenya, the solar radiation is between 4 to 5 kilowatt hour, and this is so we consider the suitability of the region, finding that Isiolo has a solar installation of 5 kilowatt hour per megawatt. So this 40 megawatt project is suitable in Isiolo, and you see now the national grid. The Kenyan renewable energy generation is at 86%. We have 2,681 megawatts installed generation in renewable energy in Kenya, and the total installed capacity of renewable energy is 3,344 megawatts. So this is like 86% of Kenya national grid use renewable energy. So basically addition of 40 megawatts project to the national grid is good for Kenyan people, and also the global, since it is reducing the carbon emission and combating climate crisis.
All right, now financing these renewable energy projects can be challenging, right?
Yes.
So maybe can you share insights into securing funding for this renewable energy across the country?
Yes, finance is a challenge to renewable energy projects, and it comes with a lot of risks, because we have financial risks, we have compliance risks, and also approvals of these projects also is a challenge. Getting that we have feed-in tariffs and also negotiated tariffs, and this depends on the projects, the size of the project you are carrying out. So getting even finance for 40 megawatts is a challenge, but for our project, it has been not easy since the PPA agreement, we received the agreement in 2019, and we are reaching financial closure at the end of this year. So you find that since from project feasibility studies and also land leasing agreement from 2012 to 2020, you find that the period is between 3 to 8 years to get approval. And you see also the government of Kenya does the due diligence also, and they see the viability of the project you are installing. You find that you may have a good project, you can get approvals, but financing becomes a challenge. Yes.
Apart from Isiolo, which other counties or regions in the country are you looking to explore?
Yes, we have 100 megawatt solar project in Narok also. That is under 500 acres. We did feasibility studies, but that one, the project has not been approved yet. We have also other projects in Marsabit, that is 300 megawatts wind energy project, and we are hoping that things will get better and we get approvals by the Ministry of Energy.
Right now, renewable energy as a business, how would you break it down for an entrepreneur who is considering taking this as a business or an investment opportunity?
So, okay, as it needs, what I can say is it needs patience, because it takes time to get the results, because you can take much time developing the projects, and also when it comes to the return of investment, you can get it after 5 years. After 5 years, if you commission a project more than 1 megawatt, the return of investment is good, since always Kenya Power offers a feed-in tariff over 20 years. Yes.
So maybe you can also clarify on the overview of the typical upfront costs that are associated with the setting up a solar and wind project in Kenya.
So the cost of, let me say for a small scale farmer, because it ranges from 1 kilowatt system to commercial ranging from more than 1 megawatt system. So for example, a small scale farmer can get a 1 kilowatt system at around 75,000 Kenyan shillings. Yes, and this scales up to also commercial, where now you'll be, because now commercial comes along with many other factors. The first factor being land, and also the suitability of the place where you install, and also the evacuation of the power, because the transmission is very important. The reason why we choose Narok is because of the Narok Suswa grid, national grid. So it will be very easy, because the power we will generate will feed into the national grid. And we also have existing transmission lines, 220 kVA, the Ketraco transmission line, which will evacuate power. Yes.
Now, maybe you can also tell us what are some of the, for these entrepreneurs looking forward to venturing into this business, what are some of the promising niche or segments that someone can consider?
Now, renewable energy is extends even to biogas, and what I can advise is even farmers should embrace more in installing biogas plants in their homes. for home use because it is environmentally friendly, and also we reduce carbon emission to the we reduce carbon emission, and also it comes with health effects because we're now eliminating the use of firewood and deforestation, and also it is easy to install since a normal biogas plant you can get it at between 44,000 to 55,000 Kenyan shillings. Yes.
Now, also climate change and sustainability are mostly driving forces in this, behind the renewable energy movement, right?
Yes.
So how can businesses now effectively communicate their commitment to sustainability and make it affordable and accessible to consumers and investors?
Because you find that most businesses are picking up solar projects to use as an alternative for the national grid, because now you find that the cost of electricity is high in the country, and this has made a lot of companies, factories for tea, factories for even milk, factories for sugar, they are using solar as an alternative to mitigate the rise of the high cost of power. Yes.
So also, what strategies are you using now to identify feasibility and also risks that are associated with these different regions when you're looking at maybe landscapes, these regions? What are these risks that you're looking for?
Already we have an overview report. Like now, when we consider the wind energy, we know that we consider the wind speeds of the regions. You find that a place like Narok, the wind speeds are between 9 to 11 meters per second, and that is highly recommendable for a wind energy project. We consider also areas like Lamu, Marsabit, Narok Plateau. These areas have the highest wind speed of between ranging 10 meters per second, just like the Ngong Hills. And this is very suitable for the wind energy projects. So despite the wind, solar, we consider the solar radiation, that is between 4 to 6 kilowatt hour per any given area, because in Kenya, that is the minimum range we have, and the highest being 6 kilowatt hour per given range. Yes.
Now, I want us to talk about the key performance indicators. I mean, key performance indicators, right, that you use to measure success of these renewable energy projects across the country. Of course, when we come back after this break.
Okay.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Kutoka kwa jamii ya kuhamahama Na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok, hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
Welcome back to the broadcast. You are watching KUTV Primetime News, and the discussion tonight is about renewable energy projects as a business in Kenya. And before we went on that short break, Ngeno, we were talking about the key performance indicators that you use to measure the success of your renewable energy projects in Kenya. Tell us about that.
You find that at the moment, globally, like Kenya is moving towards having 98% of renewable energy in the national grid. And these some of the key factors that are being put in place is development of more renewable energy projects. Like now, from the current hydropower, we have around 838 megawatts. Geothermal at 1,119 megawatts, bioenergy at 90 megawatts, and also solar at 120 megawatts, coming to a total of 2,281 megawatts of installed capacity in Kenya. So Kenya is currently moving towards 100% transition to the renewable energy. And that is why there is a discussion of having more projects in solar projects, solar energy, that is that will scale up the generation to having 100% transition to renewable energy. Yes.
Yala, I have a question coming in here for you, and he's asking, how do you manage the environmental and sustainability aspects of your projects, now including biodiversity conservation and carbon emissions reduction?
Yes, we do the environmental impact assessment, and me personally, I am an EIA associate.
Oh, what's that in for?
So it is environmental impact assessment associate expert. Yes. So we do the full studies before any approval of the project. Yes.
All right. Another one is, what innovative technologies or practices have you employed to optimize the performance and efficiency of your solar and wind projects?
To optimize the effectiveness of the solar project, we have storage for solar energy. You find that during the day you have a high solar insolation, and these you get maximum production of solar during the day at around 7 hours minimum in the northern part of Kenya. So we introduce storage of this solar plant, so that there is like when it is not like during the day, we have maximum output, and now during the off-peak hours we use the power stored in this storage facilities. Yes.
Maybe tell us now about the current landscape of renewable energy in Kenya. What are some of the emerging trends and developments in this sector?
Of course, there is a trend of new development in wind energy projects, and this scale up across. You see, in 2018 we had only 26 megawatt of wind energy in Kenya. After the launch of the Lake Turkana wind power, 300 megawatts, and the Kipeto 100 megawatts, the national grid is now at 436 megawatt of power. in generation from wind energy. Same case to solar, we have a total of 120 megawatts generation in across Kenya. Yes.
So maybe what market trends have you identified in Kenya's renewable energy, and maybe how do they impact project development in Kenya?
For now, okay, I can say that there is a trend of funding renewable energy since it is part of the conversation going around of climate combating climate change. And these are some of the key pillars towards achieving a clean or 100% renewable energy transition in Kenya. Yes.
Of course, we cannot end this conversation without talking about some of the challenges that you're facing in this sector. So maybe bring us up to speed with a couple of them.
Yes, the renewable energy space has a lot of challenges. If, like now, we can, like for biogas plants, there is a challenge of the effectiveness. Like before, I've installed like 10 biogas plants, and you find that a customer complains after the installment, saying that maybe the biogas is not working efficiently, and you see maybe the training, the effectiveness, and the use of biogas doesn't work well. So these are some of the challenges. You find that there's an excitement when you install a biogas plant, but after 2 to 3 weeks, a client or a customer complains on the effectiveness of the biogas. Yes.
Now, Titus, as we wind up, and this should also serve as your parting shot, as we look ahead, maybe what are some of the foreseeable biggest challenges and opportunities that for renewable energy businesses in the country in the next decade?
So, unfortunately, many people are scaling up towards having more projects in solar energy, wind energy, and also generation of more than 1 megawatts. But the challenge is that the market also is, you find that the more the installation of these projects, the tariffs go slow. Like you find that now the feed-in tariffs for these projects becomes low. So it's a challenge to investors who want to develop these projects across Kenya. Yes.
All right, Titus, thank you so much for making time for us right here at KUTV. We do appreciate your time. Now, that's a wrap for that conversation on renewable energy as a business in Kenya. I hope that you have gotten some insights if this is a segment that you're looking forward into venturing into. We are taking another short break at this point. We're coming back with more. Stay with us.
You need to look for high quality friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, you know Portmore. That's my village.
Sanga tu chini hapo ukinyethia ukikatia mademo akipita.
Sina pesa saa hii, nimekuja kukopesa choo.
Adventures across the African continent.
See breathtaking wildlife, stunning landscapes,
and out of this world technologies.
Meet incredible scientists
and learn fantastic facts.
Explore, discover, be amazed.
Be part of the next generation of African change makers.
Be a part of Engine, Africa's #1 science discovery program.
Yay! We're learning every
mtazamaji popote ulipo unapokuwa ukitazama Safina Show
inang'oa nanga sasa hivi. Ungana nami Albanas Mwania, nahodha wa Safina Show, nikutoe ng'ambo ya pili hadi ufuoni. Safina Show, sauti ya matumaini.
Right, welcome back to the broadcast. Let's continue with our coverage. Kenyatta University has today launched this year's Leadership Development and Mentorship course under the Growing Leaders program. The course, which is offered to students in either the first or second semester of their final year, aims at empowering them and complementing what they have learned in their respective courses. Listen in.
In an event that brought together final year students in Kenyatta University, the 2023-2024 Leadership Development and Mentorship course was launched. The course, which is offered for all students free of charge, aims at empowering them with other skills outside their courses. According to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Paul Wainaina, who was represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of Administration and Finance, Professor Godfrey Muse, among the university's role is to ensure each student is well equipped in every capacity.
This course complements what the students learn in their degree programs by bridging the gap between the curriculum and industry. It is therefore no surprise that Kenyatta University graduates always have a competitive edge over other graduates as they are well equipped to navigate the ever-changing labor market.
He further encouraged the students that apart from the knowledge equipped in their respective courses, more is needed in the job market.
More is required of you over and above your academic portfolio. Employers today, as I'm sure our chief guest will inform you, want to see graduates who are competent and able to navigate through various professional and social challenges encountered in the workplace.
Also in attendance was different academic deans who encouraged the students to start planning ahead.
This program is a testament to our commitment to nurturing the leaders of tomorrow, individuals who will undoubtedly leave an indelible mark on the world.
This program, as you have been told, is going to prepare you for the outside world. So we urge you to take it seriously, and we wish you well.
The chief guest speaker for the day, Alex Chamoda, who is a media personality, spoke to the students about taking control of their careers and having an initiative.
Kuwa na initiative na kuchukua opportunity na kuwa mjasiri. Kwamba waweza pata kile unachotaka ukiwa na ujasiri na ukiwa na focus. What do you want in life? Wakati hata bado uko campus.
He further urged them to sharpen their communication skills, citing it's the basis of every industry.
You're talking about communication skills. How practical are you as a good communicator? People get what they want out there because you can clearly state what you want. You can look someone in the eye and you are organized to communicate, you know. And communication comes with probably also with the body language.
The Growing Leaders program was started in 2014 and has so far seen over 30,000 students graduate. The course is offered each year to all final year students, cost of free. Ruth Wanjiru, KU TV.
African nations are working to develop a currency-neutral payment system that aims to reduce dollar rates on the region exchange market. In order to keep more of its dollar reserves for dealings with Western nations, Kenya in particular is eager to leverage its trade relationships with BRIC countries. Edward Nyamo with more.
Given that commercial and syndicated loans representing half of public debt are dominated in foreign currencies, the depreciation of the Kenyan shillings has increased the size of public debt stock. One of the effects of ending dollarization being a shift in balance of power in the global economy. Another reason countries might want to de-dollarize is to promote economic independence. While responding to questions early last week in the National Assembly, Treasury Cabinet Secretary Njuguna Ndung'u stated that African countries are looking forward to adopting currency-neutral payment system to lower the dominance of the dollar in their foreign exchange market.
Especially in the African Continental Free Trade Area, what is happening is that countries in Africa are looking for payment system that is currency neutral. That means that the trading will take the weight of the currency in question, but it will not affect the trading. And that is where the dollarization is taking us. So in effect, Honorable Speaker, what I would say is that fear of dominance of the dollar is actually leading us to payment systems that are currency neutral, which is, as of now, is equivalent to de-dollarization. But what is also showing up is that countries like China and India are popularizing their own currencies so that they provide an alternative liquidity channel through which trading will take place.
According to Treasury report, BRICS countries, which include India, Brazil, China, Russia and South Africa, account for about 70% of Kenya's trade deficit. China in particular imports 19.3% of Kenya imports, with Kenya only exporting 3.1% to China. Exports to India, China, Saudi Arabia, Russia and Malaysia accounted for 1.0%, 3.1%, 1.4%, 0.6% and 0.3% respectively in the year to May 2023, thus showing an imbalance of trade. Kenya may save more of its dollar reserves for trading with Western countries if these nations transitioned to a different currency. The Kenya shilling's value relative to the dollar will thereafter stabilize as a result of this. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
Now, across our borders, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations recently concluded its first joint naval exercises. The drills focused on disaster response rather than combat took place near waters China claims as its own. Indra Yoga has this story, narrated by VOA's Nova Prowadi. Listen in.
The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, recently wrapped up its inaugural naval drills called the ASEAN Solidarity Exercise on September 23rd. Hosted by Indonesia, the exercises were focused on coordinated disaster response in a region vulnerable to tsunamis and other extreme weather events. Another goal, expand military ties and military cooperation between ASEAN nations.
ASEC is not only a symbol of solidarity, cooperation and close friendship between us, but also a manifestation of military strength from ASEAN members.
This year's exercises were held in the South Natuna Sea. It borders the North Natuna Sea, part of which China claims as part of its expansive territory in the larger South China Sea. According to Indonesian Navy Commodore Muhammad Taufik, the region was chosen purposely.
From our perspective, because this is the first exercise conducted, so we think that the area in Natuna and Batam is the closest area near to neighboring states.
But the location of the joint exercises did not escape the attention of Beijing, which in August had published a new map reiterating its claims in the South China Sea.
We have a clear and consistent position on the South China Sea.
While the exercises were focused on natural disaster response, piracy and rescue operations, analysts like Carl Baker of the Pacific Forum say they are also an opportunity for ASEAN countries to make a statement.
They've both done ASEAN-US exercises, ASEAN-China exercises. This is, I think, the first one that's all ASEAN. And so I think that that's significant.
Baker also notes how the choice of location also showed ASEAN pragmatism, championed by Indonesia.
Well, remember that the initial proposal was to do the exercise in the North Natuna Sea, and the way they satisfied Cambodia was to move it in the South Natuna Sea, which is less controversial because it's clearly outside of the supposed 9-dash line that China has drawn in that region.
Brunei, Malaysia, and Singapore sent warships and combat personnel to the exercise. The Philippines, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Vietnam, and Thailand sent observers, as did aspiring ASEAN member East Timor. For Indra Yoga in Batam, Indonesia, Nova Purwadi, VOA News.
All right, with that report, we are taking another short break. Of course, sports news is up next. Stay with us.
need to look for high quality friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, you know, Portmore. That's my village.
Kanga tu chini hapo ukinyedhia ukikatia mademu akipita.
Sinaweza saa hii nimekuja kukopesa choo.
Adventures across the African continent.
See breathtaking wildlife, stunning landscapes,
and out of this world technology.
Meet incredible scientists
and learn fantastic facts.
Explore, discover, be amazed.
Be part of the next generation of African change makers.
Be a part of Engine, Africa's #1 science discovery program. Yay!
We're learning every day.
Mtazamaji popote ulipo unapokuwa ukitazama Safina Show
inang'oananga sasa hivi. Ungana nami Albanas Mwania, nahodha wa Safina Show, nikutoe ng'ambo ya pili hadi ufuoni. Safina Show, sauti ya matumaini.
Right now in the world of sports, Fatma Zarika, better known as Iron Fist, will defend her World Boxing Federation World Super Featherweight title when she faces Tanzanian boxer Fatma Umari in Nairobi. Zarika defeated Patience Mastara of Zimbabwe to lift the coveted title in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania in November 2020, but has since not had a sponsor. The high-octane 10-round fight night bout, dubbed the Betika Ultra Fight Boxing Series, will be held at the Broadwalk Mall along Ojiji Road in Parklands, Nairobi on the 27th of this month. South Africa scored 7 tries as they beat Tonga 49-18 in the final Group B match of the Rugby World Cup 2023 at the Marseille Stadium. Tries are from Cobus Reinach, Jesse Creel, Willie Rooks and Quagga Smith all scored for the defending champions to ensure they qualify for the quarterfinals in Group C action. Australia thrashed Portugal 34-14 to move to second place, 1 point above Fiji. Richard Arnold, David Porecki and Angus Bell all scored for Australia at the Geoffrey Arena in the city of Saint-Etienne, France. The Rugby World Cup 2023 action will resume on Thursday when New Zealand lock horns with Uruguay in Group A. Carlos Alcaraz is through to the semi-finals of the Tennis China Open in the capital city, Beijing, after edging Casper Ruud in 2 sets of 6-4 and 6-2. Alexander Zverev and Daniel Medvedev are also through after winning their matches against Nicolas Jarry and Ugo Humbert, respectively. And finally, Atletico de Madrid came back from 2 goals down to secure a 3-2 win against Cadiz, courtesy of a brace from Angel Correa at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium and the Spanish La Liga Match Day 8 action, while Real Betis thumped FC Valencia 3-0 at the Benito Stadium. In the Italian Serie A matchday 7 action, Romelu Lukaku and Lorenzo Pellegrini were on target as A. Roma's beat Frosinone 2-0 at the Olimpico Stadium in Rome, while Juventus played out a barren draw against Atalanta at the Geois Stadium in the French Ligue 1 matchday 7 action. Nice were held to a barren draw against Brest winners, were 3 winners of Nantes. Montpellier FC thrashed FC Lorient 3-0 and Reims were 2-0 winners over FC Olympique Lyon. All right, that brings us to the end of our bulletin tonight. Many thanks indeed for keeping us company. Be sure to stay tuned for our subsequent bulletins as you do enjoy the rest of your week. My name is Anne Odida. I'm in the company of Samuel Kello as our sign language interpreter tonight. Have a good night and see you next week, inshallah.